What is up, guys? Welcome back to the next video. Today I'll be sharing my top 20 favorite roller coasters that I've ever ridden. So let's start off with some honorable mentions. And these honorable mentions will go to Rougarou at Cedar Point, which was a floorless conversion from Mantis. Gatekeeper at Cedar Point, which is their front gate coaster. Nighthawk at Cedar Point. Nighthawk at Carowinds, which is another front gate coaster. Not really front gate, but it's at the very front of the park. The first ride that you'll see. And so let's start off with number 20, Wild Eagle. Wild Eagle, let's just say it's pretty decent, and it's a roller coaster at Dollywood. It's a B&M wing coaster, and I just want to say this ride and Gatekeeper were pretty close. I was going back and forth between the three honorable mentions and this, but I came up with Wild Eagle, which I like a little bit more. So coming in at number 19 is Mystery Mine. And let's just say, even though this ride has over-shoulder restraints, I really like it, and I find it really enjoyable. And that last part is just so crazy on the ride, and I love it. Okay, so moving on to the next spot on the list is Tennessee Tornado. So number 18, yes, is Tennessee Tornado. Tennessee Tornado is a ride built by Aerodynamics, the defunct manufacturer, and it was one of the Aero Loopers. And this ride is themed pretty well. Well, not themed, but it has a lot of mist back in this section by the park. But I did go there during Christmas time for Dollywood. Maybe that made a difference, but I really liked it. Okay, moving on to number 17, The Beast at Kings Island. And I just want to say this ride has really grown on me over the years. And I've started to really like it. And the ride's just been growing on me a lot, and it's just been getting better and better as I ride it. It's a front row on the Beast is unbelievable. Moving on to number 16 on the list, Val Raven. Val Raven is a ride that's just, the first drop saves it so much spots. If there was no first drop on this ride, it might not even be on my top 25. But the first drop is unforgettable. And then you go into a dive loop up into a mid-course brake run before you head back down into, I believe, another dive loop. And then you go up into a weird 0G roll thingy. And then an airtime hill, and then it's the brakes. The ride feels really short because the mid-course brake run, it slows you down completely. Okay, so moving on. Number 15, Flight of Fear at Kings Island. And there's only a reason why this ride's high up. I haven't ridden it in about a year or two, but even though Kings Island's my home park, it always has a line. But I love the launch. It has a good launch and all. The launch makes it, and then it just goes through the layout pretty fast. Except I kind of need to ride it again as it's been a bit. Next up on the list is Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. And allow me to just say something real quick. This is ridiculous. Lightning Run was so overrated. I'm pretty sure it's built by Chance Rides. And people overhype it so much. I don't get what the deal is. Okay, moving on to our next spot on the list, which will be Raptor at Cedar Point. Yes, guys, Raptor took a big shot up. It wouldn't have been in this list last year, but, wouldn't have been on the list last year or the year before I rode it, but this last trip gave me one of the best rides that I had. Two best rides, a day ride and a night ride, and this ride flies through night. It's just amazing. It has a beautiful night package, and I just love it. It's very snappy. Next up is Thunder Striker. So Thunder Striker is a B&M Hyper built by Bolliger and Maviard, which is what BEM stands for. And this ride is in the very front of Carowinds. It's practically a parking lot coaster, and you can just see it fly. You can just see it coming up the front entrance, which is pretty cool. And that's the same about one and then another ride that's on this list. And I just really like it. Okay, so next up, right after Thunder Striker is another ride coming from Carowinds. And no, it's not Fury. No, it's not Copperhead. Instead, it's Afterburn, which I actually think is the best B&M invert. And Afterburn is incredible. Afterburn is just so crazy snappy. I love it. And like I said, you could see this one from the parking lot. Right when you come in, you can see it. And that really got me hyped up for my day at Carowinds. And Carowinds is a great park in my opinion. And it's getting up there with Cedar Point almost because of how it's just so charming and really nice there. And Carowinds is just an amazing park. Kings Island and Dollywood are pretty close though. But Dollywood gets the edge because Kings Island is my home park. And I go there so much. But anyway, moving on. Next up is our number 10 spot, Kaboom. Number 10 is Orion at Kings Island. And I just want to say, this ride is short. It's a B&M Giga Coaster and reaches 287 feet tall with a 300-foot drop, which is why people call it a Giga. Some people could argue over that, but I certainly don't because I think that it's a Giga. And I just want to say this has like one of the best first drops that I've ever been on. This first drop is relentless on this ride and amazing. It's not the best ride in the park though. You know what's coming up here in a second. Okay, next up is Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom for number 9. Tyler, you only been to like 4 amusement parks. Why is Storm Chaser in number 9? You see, Storm Chaser just isn't that great. And you know what I would put up here with some of these spots? This roller coaster that I had in my dreams. It was like it's supposed to be from what's it called? Santa World or whatever? No, not Holiday World. It's from Santa Village. Santa's Village. Boom. Okay, so Storm Chaser was really overrated in my opinion. It was decent. I really liked the ejector though on it, and it was running slow the day that I went, but there was like nobody there, so we got like legit. We walked on every single thing at Kentucky Kingdom. Well, with no line, besides Mile High Falls. Okay, so moving on, for the number 8 spot is, No, now's our number 8 spot, I believe. Our number 8 spot is Diamondback at Kings Island. Spoiler alert, this is my favorite ride at Kings Island. So there will be no Mystic Timbers. So Diamondback, in my opinion, is an incredible hyper coaster. And as you can see, it's a lot farther up. And I had a really good ride on it 2 days ago. It was a night ride and a day ride, and they were both relentless. And I just love it. The floater airtime, the first drop is incredible. Okay, now moving on to our number 7 spot. And I'm debating this. There's 2 more coasters from Dollywood on this list. And number 7 is Thunderhead at Dollywood. So Dollywood is an incredible park in my opinion. And Thunderhead is just a really fun GCI coaster that I just love so much. And they should add more of those around the world. I think Fiesta would be a good fit for one, maybe Cedar Point. I've never been to Fiesta, but I've been to Cedar Point. Okay, moving on to our number 6 spot, Lightning Rod at Dollywood. So Lightning Rod is a roller coaster who's had a lot of transactions. So first of all, it was made with a wooden launch. Then they converted the track to steel. It still had problems on the launch. So now they converted the launch to a lift hill. And I haven't ridden it with the lift hill. I rode it with the launch. Except if I can imagine, it's not going to change the ride very much. And I'm not basing off of it with the lift hill. And I'm just basing off it with the launch. But I didn't ride it when it was fast launched. I watched it when it was slow launched. Okay, moving in at the number 5 spot, a roller coaster that's dropped, I believe, about 4 spots, which is Millennium Force. This year, Millennium Force didn't give me the ride that I was, and I wouldn't say it's forceless, but because it makes me gray out sometimes. I'm starting to get over the gray out and stuff, but like, this ride's just great. The first drop's not the best in the world anymore. It might be my favorite first drop. Might be Theory, maybe Orion or Diamondback. Those have really good. And maybe even Valraven. I really like that first drop. And so Millennium Force was the tallest roller coaster when it opened. It opened in 2000, and I just love it. I won the Golden Ticket Award for Best Steel Coaster at 14 years in a row, I believe. Okay, so moving into our number 4 spot is Maverick at Cedar Point. Yes, that's right. Maverick is a ride which I just love. Maverick is a great roller coaster that it's built by Intamin, and one of the best Intamin RMC 1-2 punches in the park right there. And there's another Cedar Point coaster, of course, that's going to be later here on this list. So I was actually going back and forth between the number 2 spot, 1 and 2. But let's go to number 3 real quick, which is Copperhead Strikeout Carowinds. And how come nobody warned me that this ride was going to be super good? Copperhead Strike is a great ride. And I don't know what people were talking about, saying, oh, it's not that good. I mean, I don't know, like, I just love that ride for some reason. And I was going back and forth between this and Maverick. And this was a pretty hard list to make because of this factor. And now, number 2, Theory 325 at Carowinds. Was it really a surprise? I love this ride so much. Theory 325 is so good. Airtime, the way that goes over the front gate. And there's just nothing to say about it besides it's great. Okay, and it's Speed Demon. Okay, now number 1 is a roller coaster that you guys already know what it is. It's obviously Great Pumpkin Coaster at Kings Island. So this coaster, just kidding. Number 1 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, and I do not have to explain myself, except this ride is awesome, and I'll see you guys back in the next